Have you noticed that your knees seem stiffer when you get out of bed in the morning? Maybe climbing stairs feels harder than it used to. Maybe your hips ache after sitting for a while. Or maybe your hands feel swollen and sore when you try to open a jar, hold a coffee cup, or turn a doorknob. If you're over 60, there's something important you need to know. The pain you're feeling may not be caused only by age. In fact, some of the foods sitting in your kitchen right now could be silently fueling inflammation inside your joints every single day. And here's the scary part. Many seniors eat these foods believing they're healthy. They've been told these foods are harmless. Some have eaten them for decades. Yet these foods may be making joint pain worse, increasing stiffness, and accelerating the wear and tear that affects mobility later in life. Today, we're going to uncover the foods that may be secretly damaging your joints. But stay with me until the end, because one of the biggest offenders is a food millions of Americans eat every single morning, and most people never suspect it. Let's begin. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and feeling less stiffness. Imagine standing up from your chair without that familiar ache shooting through your knees. Imagine taking a walk without constantly thinking about discomfort. For many people, that sounds impossible. But researchers have spent years studying the connection between inflammation and chronic pain. What they discovered changed how many health experts view joint health. Your joints don't simply wear out. Inflammation often plays a major role, and what you eat can either feed that inflammation or help calm it down. Think of inflammation like a small fire. A little inflammation helps the body heal, but when that fire keeps burning day after day, month after month, year after year, it can begin damaging healthy tissues, including the tissues inside your joints. This is why two people of the same age can have dramatically different levels of pain. One person remains active, energetic, and mobile. The other struggles to walk across a parking lot. While many factors contribute to joint health, diet is one factor that's often overlooked, and that's where our first food enters the picture. Food number 1, sugary drinks. At first glance, sugary beverages seem harmless. A glass of soda, sweet tea, fruit punch, sports drinks, even some bottled juices. Many seniors don't think of these as major health threats, but your body sees them differently. When large amounts of sugar enter the bloodstream, inflammation levels can rise. Over time, excessive sugar consumption may contribute to chronic inflammatory processes throughout the body, and your joints can pay the price. What's especially concerning is that liquid sugar enters the bloodstream incredibly fast. Unlike whole foods that contain fiber, sugary drinks provide a rapid sugar surge. Your body responds immediately, and if this becomes a daily habit, the effects can accumulate over years. Many people focus on calories when choosing beverages, but inflammation may be the bigger issue. Now here's something most seniors never realize. The average American consumes far more added sugar than health experts recommend, and much of it comes from drinks, not food, drinks, which means some people are unknowingly flooding their bodies with inflammatory ingredients every day. But don't worry, the next food may be even more surprising, because it's often marketed as convenient and delicious. Food number 2, processed meats, bacon, sausage, hot dogs, deli meats, pepperoni. For decades, these foods have been staples in countless households. They're quick, they're easy, and they taste good. But convenience often comes with a hidden cost. Processed meats frequently contain preservatives, additives, and compounds that may promote inflammation when consumed regularly. Many also contain high levels of sodium. Excess sodium may contribute to fluid retention, which can sometimes make joints feel more swollen and uncomfortable. Now, this doesn't mean eating a slice of bacon once in a while will destroy your joints. That's not the point. The issue is frequency. It's the daily habits. The breakfast sandwich every morning. The processed lunch meat every afternoon. The hot dog several nights a week. Those patterns add up. And unfortunately, many seniors grew up during a time when processed foods became normalized. Companies convinced people that convenience foods represented progress. But decades later, we're learning that some of those foods may come with consequences. This is where things get serious, because the next food category is hiding in places most people never think to look. And it's one of the biggest contributors to inflammation in the modern diet. Food number 3, refined carbohydrates, white bread, white crackers, pastries, cookies, donuts, many breakfast cereals. These foods are everywhere, and because they've been around forever, they feel harmless. But refined carbohydrates can rapidly raise blood sugar levels. That spike can trigger inflammatory responses in the body. Over time, repeated spikes may contribute to chronic inflammation. Now think about the average day. Toast for breakfast, crackers for a snack, a sandwich for lunch, a cookie after dinner. Individually, Each choice seems small. Together, they can create a pattern that keeps inflammation active. And here's the trap. Many people blame aging when their joints worsen, but sometimes the problem isn't just aging. It's the accumulation of daily habits that quietly feed inflammation year after year. Imagine pouring a little gasoline onto a fire every day. Not enough to create an explosion, just enough to keep the flames alive. That's what inflammatory eating patterns can look like. The body never fully gets a chance to cool down, and eventually, the joints begin sending signals: pain, stiffness, reduced flexibility, loss of mobility, signals that something needs attention. But before we continue, there's something you need to understand. Not all pain starts in the joints themselves. Sometimes the problem begins elsewhere, and that's exactly why the next section is so important. Because one of the most common foods in American kitchens may be affecting your joints in a way most people never consider. But first, let me tell you about someone we'll call Margaret. Margaret was 72 years old. She loved gardening. For years, she spent hours outside planting flowers and caring for her yard. Then gradually, things changed. Her knees started hurting. At first, she ignored it. She assumed it was normal aging. Everyone gets older, right? Months passed. The discomfort worsened. She found herself avoiding activities she once loved. Less gardening, less walking, less movement. Her world slowly became smaller. What surprised her wasn't the pain itself. What surprised her was discovering how many inflammatory foods had become part of her routine. Sweetened coffee, packaged snacks, processed lunches, sugary desserts. Again, no single food caused her problems, but together, they formed a pattern. When she started making healthier choices, she noticed gradual improvements. Not overnight, not magically, but steadily. And that's an important lesson. Many seniors search for one miracle solution, one supplement, one treatment, one secret cure. But often, meaningful improvement comes from consistently removing the things that are making the problem worse. Now here's the dangerous part. The next food category is consumed by millions of people who genuinely believe they're making healthy choices, and that misunderstanding may be contributing to ongoing joint discomfort. Certain highly processed vegetable oils are found in countless packaged foods. You'll find them in chips, crackers, fast food, frozen meals, packaged snacks, restaurant foods. They're everywhere because they're inexpensive and easy for manufacturers to use. The challenge is that diets heavily dominated by these oils may contribute to an imbalance that promotes inflammation. Most people don't realize how much they're consuming. You don't pour them into a glass and drink them. They're hidden inside foods, which means they can quietly become a major part of your diet without you noticing. And when inflammation becomes chronic, joints often suffer. Now, before you start checking every label in your pantry, there's another hidden culprit we need to discuss. And this one may surprise you even more. Many seniors enjoy desserts after dinner. A cookie, a slice of cake, ice cream, a pastry. There's nothing wrong with enjoying a treat occasionally. But problems arise when dessert becomes a daily habit. Excess sugar doesn't simply affect weight. It may also contribute to inflammatory processes that impact joint comfort and mobility. This is one reason why some people notice increased stiffness after periods of overindulgence. Holiday seasons often provide a perfect example. Many people consume more sweets than usual. Then they wonder why their bodies feel worse. The connection isn't always obvious, but it's often there. And here's something fascinating. The body keeps score. Every meal sends information. Every snack sends signals. Every habit influences the environment inside your body. You may not notice the effects immediately, but over months and years, those signals add up. Now here's what most seniors don't realize. Joint pain isn't only about what you eat. It's also about what those foods replace. Every time highly processed foods fill your plate, healthier foods are pushed aside. Foods that contain nutrients your joints actually need. Foods that may help support healthy aging. Foods that could help your body manage inflammation more effectively. What if the food causing the most trouble for your joints isn't the dessert after dinner, but the breakfast sitting on your table every single morning? Most seniors never consider that possibility. They focus on aging. They focus on genetics. They focus on old injuries. But sometimes the biggest clues are hiding in everyday habits that feel completely normal. And that's where we continue our list. Because the next foods may be contributing to inflammation in ways that many people overlook. Food number 4, sugary breakfast cereals. Walk through any grocery store and you'll see entire aisles filled with colorful cereal boxes. Some even advertise vitamins, minerals, or heart health benefits. That sounds healthy. But many cereals are heavily processed and packed with added sugar. When these cereals are eaten regularly, especially without enough protein or fiber, they can trigger rapid blood sugar spikes. And as we've discussed, repeated spikes may contribute to inflammation over time. Here's what often happens. A senior starts the day with a bowl of sweetened cereal. An hour or two later, hunger returns, energy crashes, cravings increase. Another processed snack follows. The cycle repeats. What seemed like a simple breakfast becomes the first step in a day filled with inflammatory foods. Now, this doesn't mean every cereal is bad. The problem is choosing products loaded with sugar while assuming they're healthy. And unfortunately, marketing can make that mistake easy. But what we're about to discuss may be even more surprising, because it's sitting inside countless restaurant meals and takeout orders. Food number 5. Deep-fried foods. French fries, fried chicken, onion rings, fried appetizers. Many people love them. And let's be honest, they taste good, but frequent consumption may create problems for aging joints. Deep-fried foods often contain large amounts of unhealthy fats and calories. They may also promote inflammation when eaten regularly. And here's something many people don't realize. The issue isn't only the food itself, it's what often comes with it. Sugary drinks, processed sauces, refined carbohydrates. A single meal can combine multiple inflammatory triggers at once. The result? Your body may spend hours dealing with the aftermath. For someone already struggling with joint discomfort, that matters a lot. This is where things become especially important for seniors. As we age, the body's ability to recover often becomes less efficient. What your body tolerated at 30 may affect you differently at 70. That's why dietary choices can become increasingly important with age. But here's the dangerous part. Many people believe occasional discomfort after meals is normal. They never connect food choices with how their joints feel the next day. And because the effects aren't always immediate, the connection goes unnoticed. Now let's move to another major culprit, one that's hiding in plain sight. Food number 6. Excessive alcohol. This topic isn't discussed enough. Many older adults enjoy a nightly drink. For some, it's a routine they've followed for years. But excessive alcohol consumption may contribute to inflammation and dehydration can affect joint comfort. Think about cartilage. Healthy cartilage relies heavily on water. When hydration suffers, joints may not function as efficiently. This doesn't mean everyone must completely eliminate alcohol. But moderation becomes increasingly important as we age, and many seniors are surprised to discover how much better they feel when they reduce excessive intake. Now here's a question. Have you ever noticed that some people seem to stay active and mobile into their 80 seconds? Meanwhile, others struggled decades earlier? The answer isn't luck alone, and it isn't genetics alone. Their daily habits often tell the real story, which brings us to one of the biggest mistakes seniors make. Mistake number 1. Waiting until pain becomes severe. Many people ignore warning signs. A little stiffness, a little soreness, a little swelling. They assume it will pass. Months later, the problem becomes harder to manage. The body often whispers before it screams. Learning to recognize those whispers matters, because early lifestyle adjustments can sometimes make a meaningful difference. Now here's something most seniors don't know. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is direction. You don't need a flawless diet. You need a better one. That's a powerful distinction. Many people quit because they think they must change everything overnight. That's rarely sustainable. Small improvements performed consistently often outperform extreme changes that last only a few weeks. But there's another mistake that's surprisingly common. Mistake number 2. Focusing only on food. Food matters, but movement matters too. Many seniors stop moving because their joints hurt. That reaction is understandable. Unfortunately, inactivity often creates new problems. Muscles weaken, flexibility decreases, mobility declines, joint support becomes worse. It's a frustrating cycle. Pain causes less movement. Less movement contributes to more stiffness. More stiffness encourages even less movement. Breaking that cycle is often essential. Now, always follow guidance from your healthcare professional regarding exercise. But many people benefit from gentle, consistent movement, walking, stretching, swimming, light strength training, activities that help keep the body functioning. And here's the fascinating part. Some seniors discover that improving diet and movement together produces results neither strategy achieved alone. This is where most people begin seeing the bigger picture. Joint health isn't one decision, it's thousands of decisions, repeated day after day, year after year. And that leads us to another critical mistake. Mistake number 3. Ignoring body weight. This topic isn't about appearance, it's about physics. Every extra pound places additional stress on weight-bearing joints, especially knees and hips. Imagine carrying a backpack filled with heavy books every moment of every day. Your joints feel that burden. Over time, the impact adds up. For many seniors, even modest weight loss can reduce joint stress significantly. And here's what's encouraging. You don't need dramatic changes. Small reductions can still make a difference. That's why replacing inflammatory foods often creates multiple benefits at once. Reduced inflammation, improved energy, better weight management, enhanced mobility. Everything becomes connected. Now let's talk solutions. Because removing problematic foods is only half the story. The other half involves choosing foods that support your body. Many seniors ask, if I stop eating these foods, what should I eat instead? Excellent question. Let's start with colorful vegetables. Vegetables contain beneficial compounds that support overall health. Leafy greens, broccoli, bell peppers, carrots. Vegetables provide nutrients without flooding the body with excess sugar or highly processed ingredients. Then there's fruit. Whole fruit contains fiber, which helps slow sugar absorption. Berries are especially popular among people seeking anti-inflammatory dietary patterns. Blueberries, strawberries, blackberries. These foods often become staples in healthier eating plans. Next comes protein. As we age, maintaining muscle becomes increasingly important. Fish, chicken, beans, eggs. These foods can help support strength and function, and strength plays a major role in joint support. But here's something many seniors overlook. Water. Simple water. Dehydration is surprisingly common among older adults. Some people gradually lose their sense of thirst as they age. Others intentionally drink less because they don't want frequent bathroom trips. Unfortunately, inadequate hydration can affect how the body feels and functions. Which brings us to a powerful realization. The foods you remove matter. The foods you add matter too. Now here's where things get serious. Many seniors spend years searching for complicated solutions, expensive supplements, special devices, miracle advertisements. Yet some of the most impactful changes involve everyday choices. Choices made at breakfast, at lunch, at dinner, at the grocery store, at restaurants. Small decisions repeated consistently, and consistency is often what separates temporary improvement from lasting results. Let's talk about another hidden trap, the healthy, packaged food trap. A package says low fat. People assume it's healthy. A package says heart-friendly. People assume it's healthy. A package says multigrain. People assume it's healthy. But labels can be misleading. Some products contain significant amounts of added sugars, refined ingredients, and highly processed components. That's why reading ingredient lists can be so valuable. The front of the package tells a marketing story. The ingredient list often tells the real story. Now imagine two futures. In the first future, nothing changes. The same inflammatory foods continue showing up every day. Joint discomfort gradually increases. Activities become harder. Mobility declines. Independence becomes more challenging. In the second future, small improvements begin today. Sugary drinks become less frequent. Processed foods appear less often. Nutritious choices increase. Movement becomes more consistent. The body receives better support. Which future develops? That depends largely on the choices made repeatedly over time. And that's empowering, because it means you still have influence over your future. No one can control every aspect of aging, but many people can influence how they age. That's an important difference. Now let's revisit the biggest lesson from today's video. Joint pain isn't always just about age. Food choices may play a role. Inflammation may play a role. Daily habits may play a role. And while no single food is solely responsible for joint problems, dietary patterns matter. The foods we discussed today were sugary drinks, processed meats, refined carbohydrates, sugary breakfast cereals, deep-fried foods, excessive alcohol. Notice the pattern. These foods tend to be highly processed, heavily marketed, and deeply integrated into modern lifestyles, which is exactly why they're so easy to overlook. But awareness creates opportunity. Once you recognize the pattern, you can begin making smarter choices. And remember, you don't need perfection. You need progress. Replace one unhealthy habit, then another, then another. Those small wins accumulate. Weeks become months. Months become years. And those years shape your future quality of life. Imagine being able to enjoy walks, gardening, travel, playing with grandchildren, attending family events, living independently. Those experiences matter. Mobility protects freedom, And freedom is one of the most valuable things we have as we age. So here's my challenge for you. Pick just one food from today's list. Just one. Reduce it this week. Pay attention to how your body feels. Then build from there. Because lasting change rarely starts with giant leaps. It starts with one decision, one meal, one habit, one step. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss future health and longevity videos designed specifically for adults over 60. And before you leave, watch our next video about the surprising morning habits that help many seniors stay active, independent, and energetic well into their 70 seconds, 80 seconds, and beyond. Your future mobility may depend on what you learn next.